Ron, I'm super excited to have you here.
Thanks.
Just because we know each other a little bit. I know already a little bit about your background, and we're going to have so much to talk about. We'll try and condense it, but it's going to be great. Now, you are an action actor.
Yes.
Based currently out here in Thailand, and you've already had incredible experiences in your career working with movies and television, including Jackie Chan, which I think most people are probably going to know you from. Who Am I? Brothers, Ninja 2, Time Rush, and they're just a few of the many projects that you've done. So it's obviously we can tell that you've had a very successful career up until this point, but today I kind of want to go back to the very beginning, where it all started, and I want to pick your brain on that, okay? So let's start at the beginning. What inspired you in the first place to actually become an action actor?
When I saw action movies, like back in the 80s, something hit me. And this was a big thing. It's like getting this spark. I come from a very good time. It was like, what I said, the 80s, there was Rocky on TV, and there was like Bloodsport, and there was Jackie Chan. There's a movie, Young Master. And there was a series like a ninja series, and they were so inspiring. Now, I was a kid, I was a little bit thin and skinny, and some people teased me, but I didn't really care about that. But there was a movie called Karate Kid, and there was also a skinny kid. And he got like his way to, get more confidence, and that really hits me. So at the end of this children party, we literally jumped up and did kicks and punches, and I felt, wow, this is cool, So we all said, let's go do karate. And so I went on karate and nobody else went, so I was the only one. But we were making ninja stars back in the days, and it was such a motivational period. Which is now lacking. I'll get back to that. Which is lacking right now. It reflects with society maybe. So we were training like still now all day, watching movies with this old VHS cassette, and then Van Damme came, and I was like, I identified with him. I did my hair like back. I went to school like with these jackets. I did splits, and people started to say like, you think you are a movie star? And there was one guy with a lot of fantasy. He said, Ron, you are so good in martial arts, right? Because I love kicking and stuff. Yeah. You're gonna be like a next Van Damme or so. Like you have it. Because for me it was everything, I even sleep in my karate suit, basically.
Wow, you were fully immersed.
Yeah. I was so in it, and still, of course. And the neighbors, like they hear all these screams, from training, and the walls. They're all broken. There were holes in the walls, and even my mom said, you're gonna die, from training. It's not normal. Yeah. And at one point, I got some record, and in the karate school, we started to make fight scenes, like movie fights. So we already lived like we're already in movies. It's already happened here. Mindset, right? It already happened in here. And people, then they start to ridicule you. Who do you think you are? You think you can, I said, well, I have a dream. Now, even in the karate school, they were like laughing at me. Even the martial artists were laughing. Like, who do you think you are? I said, well, I think I can play movies. Now, years later, to make a long story short, Jackie Chan came to Holland. And I think it was like there was so much there inside. It was like a pimple. It was so like coming together. It was so like, it was so like a big one. Not out yet. It was not popped yet. You know what I mean, right? It was so much passion, and it couldn't expose itself. And then I sent some kind of videotape to the Jackie Chan team, and they saw that on the set. I was an extra. And they were like, who is this guy? We want to see him. And I got kind of discovered by Jackie Chan, doing the final fight of the movie straight away, without having done any movie. And then the tough part came. So that's a little bit in short how I got into movies and what inspired me.
So the original inspiration was that you were just with friends watching Karate Kid, and you were like, that's epic, I want to do that. And you didn't just say it, you actually followed through 100% by the sounds of it, breaking the walls in your home. And then and then you went on and someone said, I see this in you. So it's almost like someone had that belief in you as well. Do you think that kind of like helped you go a little bit further, having someone say that to you, or, you know?
It is, because if Jackie Chan, of course, acknowledged that, but also there's one guy, he had a lot of fantasy, and he also watched a lot of movies. He was the local gangster of my town, and everybody feared this guy. And he was the first one saying it. So this local guy, he said, Ron, you're gonna be a Van Damme. And what he did was very, very good with me. Like I was still like shy and not insecure, but I didn't really show off. He went with me to the biggest gangsters of town. You know, like this guy sitting and doing nothing, smoking, and he said, look at this guy. This is Ron. He's gonna be a next Van Damme. He said, Ron, splits. So I had to do splits cold. I had to run leg holding. I had to hold my leg, and these gangsters were normally tough.
Of gangsters, like
yeah, with gangsters, and they were like, "What the fuck? This guy is good. Oh, we don't want to fight him." So they were all like, hands, like, okay, you know, and always say hello.
Respect.
And so I got like, wow, you know, so this fantasy this guy actually had became reality, and we were just living it. We were just training and dressing up, and also. Yeah, I didn't care about what people think about me. It's very weird.
Yeah, because you said that. You said that when you were younger, you were skinny and you got, you know, a bit of like backlash for that. But then I guess when you saw Karate Kid and you could relate and you were like, oh, well, actually, if that guy can do it, maybe I can do it as well, right?
That's it. You just need to see it and feel it. But there's a certain spark.
Yeah.
You need to get this spark and it really like, ignited something.
So the next question is, how did you break into the industry? So it sounds like you got your first job as an extra on the Jackie Chan, Who Am I, right?
Yep.
So you went in there as an extra, but then while you were there, you got spotted basically. And they were like, well, this guy's just too good. He needs to do more. I mean, how was that?
Well, it was great, but you know, in life there's always a balance, so there's always a big sacrifice part. So it was really great. It was like a dream come true, winning the lottery. But at the same time, like life is always in balance. So if something really great comes, expect the other side. It is just what I experienced and still till now of today. So my girlfriend broke up because we're supposed to go on a holiday. Life is the ultimate test, guys and girls. Like it all comes in the same time. So then you have to make a choice. It's a real sacrifice. The day before I shot with Jackie Chan, I was supposed to go on a holiday with my girlfriend, and we really needed that. I had 5 years with her. She broke up. My best friend was so angry I got this part that it was like fuck off, like sorry, in a bad way. I lost my job, like everything in the same time. And this local stuntman was so angry because they didn't have even a small fight with Jackie, the local stuntmen, and they were like the guys in Holland. And then this guy coming out of nowhere, getting a final fight with Jackie Chan. They wanted to beat me up on set, stealing my suit on set to say, oh, I look better than Ron.
Wow.
This guy is skinny, he can't do it, he's not a stuntman. And laughing like, we steal your part right now. So on one side it was super cool. On the other side there is the resistance. And that's the big battle. It's not the art and the love for kicks and even the danger of all the stunts, what they're going to talk about. That's the fun part. Even the most scary stunt is the fun part. It's dealing with the other side.
Yeah, and that is all about your support circle in the moment and having people who support your goal, which we will come to also later in the talk. So, I mean, so you didn't have any formal training?
Right. Well, the training was, we just copy movies.
Yeah.
We just see action movies. Hey, that's a cool move. Let's rewind that. And just redo it. So I coming from the martial arts side. So if you talk about stuntman, there's a lot of other stuff involved, like fire, you have to drive cars sometimes. Like the real stuntman course. Right, that's very expensive and it takes 6 years if you do it in England, for example. A lot of money, and they do it on purpose because you can't go in easily. You pay lots of money. Not many people can do that. But then you get good jobs. You get the Marvel movies, and it's like a clique. So I went just in by doing it, by learning from the master himself, Jackie Chan, which was the hardest moment in my life, basically. It was tough. And then when you on set in Thailand, right? Like, they liked me, but sometimes you have to do it for the first time. And they say, "Are you stuntman?" And I say, "Yes," but actually not, right? So I had to learn that. Okay, jump 3 meters. Ended up with 15 meters sometimes, and I'm going to talk about that more. But I was shaking. I don't like heights. I had to do it sometimes to pay the rent, right? So sometimes we're on fire. The first time, you know, you have to deal with it. But something inside you tell you, you know, this life is so cool. It's going to be all right.
Yeah. Even
if I have to go to glass or break something or something tell you, there's a voice telling you, you do what you love and it's going to be all right. And that always carries me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you just kind of like, what is that saying? Like, say yes and figure it out later.
Yes, well, yeah, that's what it is.
Say yes, throw yourself through glass, figure it out later.
Yeah. What it is really, you can't really prepare for this all the time. Like, every movie set is different, right? Every location is different. Every setup is different. So what you can do is just prepare your body and know your body, how to fall, right? It's very important, how to fall, how to react, and be very adaptable. And like, probably one of your questions, like, you have to imagine it before, like how you prepare for something, right? If you know tomorrow I have to jump from this window, and like, so I already start to imagine the fall, like how I'm gonna fall, what's the most safest way. I already dream it. Sometimes maybe not slip. Like one movie, I knew I had to go to glass with my face, right? And like, I was like a little bit worried, but I knew it's gonna be all right. And then on the day, it's like all or nothing. You go automatic. You just go. And you know, when you jump from a rock to another rock and there's a big gap, you cannot jump half. You're gonna fall. So when you do this, and this is with everything in life, you really have to do it. You go 100% or more, else you won't make it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt. So when you jump, you gotta really jump.
You jump, yeah. Which I think is what a lot of people are afraid of and why they get stuck in a cycle, either because of fear of taking action in the first place, or because they're just not ready to give it 100%. So they take little steps, but then that can be more dangerous in the long run, right? When looking at taking risks and things. So these are some of, obviously, the core skills and principles that you need to do this kind of work. But were there any that surprised you, or any, because we know, like, if you're going to do stuff like that, you have to prepare your body, you have to put in the physical training, this kind of stuff. Is there anything that surprised you that you were like, oh, that's a skill I need that I didn't know I needed until now?
Yes. Well, I always copied Van Damme, right? Van Damme is more like this, and big kicks and flexibility, so I could do all that. But Jackie Chan is another story. He's Asian and they have rhythms, you know, it's like bam, 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 bam. So I had to adapt to that, and that was really tough. And there's even a documentary like showing that. So I had to get used to rhythms and pressures on set, which is, you know, sometimes, can you imagine Jackie Chan tell you, next take, you have to walk a different path, work on your acting, kick higher, punch harder, like 4 or 5 things you have to remember. And you only have 20 seconds to process. In the meantime, there's wardrobe, you know, doing your hair, and you have to like focus, like you tell yourself, this, I have to do. You can only remember 1 or 2. So the next take is like, why you didn't do that? And then again, and then it builds up your, it can even go till a moment you black out. So the thing is, what I learned is like, stay cool. That's always better. Right, that's what I learned, and that was quite tough. That when all this information comes at you, because in stunts, right, you need to have overview. There was a Thai coordinator. He used to, like, when you have to go left, and then he changes during the take. So when you do a dangerous stunt, he said, no, go right. And when you are like going all the way as I said, you have to do it good, right? With intention. And then you have to go another side. While doing a stunt, that's how accidents happened. So you have to be super focused. And I learned that by having this pressure. And you need to get used to the pressure. I have a lot of stuntmen who are very nervous. Like friends who want to get in and they just can't, the timing, they can't get it. Or they react too early. So it's dealing with pressure.
Yeah, dealing with pressure and, as you said, staying cool. But how do you stay cool? So, for example, you know, someone who's just like really nervous all the time or full of energy and just can't, like, how do you do it?
It's just by practicing. You can, a lot of people say, give me shortcuts, right? Like in one workshop, whatever, I want to be a movie fighter or an action actor or stuntman. It's almost not possible because you just need to put the hours in by just doing it, by just reacting. It's like dancing, right? You do a dance a lot of times, it becomes automatic. Or driving, race car. You need to do those laps a lot of times and then you get comfortable with you know, when you go around the corner, like how to take it perfectly. So it's just by doing, you need to do so much of it.
So I guess the lead up to the job is just practice until it becomes part of you, that it just kind of flows. But what about, you've done all of that, you get to set, and then there's a different type of, you know, fear or level of energy that is kind of rattling you up. So you've done the work and you know what you're doing with the flow, but how do you keep calm when because set life is wild. So how do you keep calm when this is going over here and this is over here and everyone's talking here and we got to be, you know, it's crazy. So in the moment.
Well, that's a good question. Well, we're not robots, right? We have feelings. So even if you practice to the max, there's always this excitement and always the thought it can go wrong, right? Because it's a stunt, right? You never know. So this insecure part, it's a certain adrenaline you get and it makes you feel alive, you know? And it really keeps you in the moment. Like you gotta be in the moment. And sometimes before takes, right? People come at you and they're joking around. Hey, Ron, you know this joke about this and that? I said, oh, not now. I'm preparing, right? So it is, you have to protect a little bit your focus in this. So you can, that's the thing, the business is always exciting because what you say, you cannot, everything is different, every time is different. Even with the best training. But you can chip away like 80% from it, like, oh, I've done similar like that before. Right? And something also tells you it's going to be okay, a certain belief, you know, like, and sometimes also you need to make a living, right? So sometimes there are stunt jobs because the movie business is very tough. Surviving is winning, you know? So if you say, hey, Ron, one time I didn't have money and the one stunt in Thailand said, Ron, we need you to jump 16 meters and I hate heights. And I had to do it. And I was literally on the edge, like this, looking down, like, and I got this feeling like, you know, you get weak. And they said, okay, Ron, ready. 3, 2, 1, action. And you have to go. So I had to step over. And I'm falling like, and it was very long before I landed. Like, it was like this weird feeling. And I hit really hard, like, bam, like. And at the end, I was like, this is for my family, you know. Like, something is going to be, it's going to be all right. And then I had to do 7 takes like that. So 7
I was going to say, was
7
it just
times.
one or you had
No,
to do...
7.
Oh, gosh.
So at the 7th time, okay, you get used to it, you know, and you. But because I didn't have the stunt training like that, you know, they jump every day, maybe 15 times.
Right.
But that was like the first time this height, right? But I just think about my family, you know, like, okay, this is a purpose too. And this is part of the action life, right? And in that spark, you know, you need to find the spark again, like, okay, this is all connected. Right? It's all connected. That spark, if you lose the spark, be very careful. Like if you do this business only for money, for example, forget it. You go do Bitcoin or whatever. Don't do this.
Yeah. No, it's true. This industry is built on passion because it's tough out there. But I really want to go into this jump because my heart was racing just by saying it, so I'm sure everyone else's is as well. Or not, I don't know. I also don't like heights, so I guess I can relate. But so you get given a job, and it's a job that you know is a weaker side of you because you have a big fear over it. and you're standing on the edge, knowing that this is something that is really getting at you, but you still jumped. You still did it. I wanna really fully understand what it, because you said you were thinking about your family.
Yeah.
So do you think it was the process of coming out of your head and putting your thoughts onto something else, or giving it more intention and purpose? Because some people might not do it. Some people might stand on the edge and be like, you know what, I can't, I'm so sorry, but I can't do it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Right. Has that ever happened to you?
Even with big stuntmen, no, never.
You've always
it don't happen because I know it. I've always believed in destiny. So like this is on my path. So I have to, you know, like I have to make sure that I can do that. It's like a life test. Like Jackie Chan was a big life test. If I was scared, or I would not be here right now.
Right.
So it's like, okay, let's like a challenge, you know. Somebody's challenging you. Okay, I take it on, because this life is made for me. I feel, and that because of the spark. So yeah, there's things talking to you. Your inner voice, right? So when you're up this big mountain, that even the Thai people were scared. The Thai stuntmen, who are quite tough, they were like, because they had to jump as well, like after me, and one before me, luckily, because I could see how he did it. But he was shaking. I was shaking. But something tell you, okay, focus, run, family, love for the art, right? This is a new challenge. Something is talking to you, and you get that moment, you know, that moment before you do a world record or something, you get that weird moment of focus. And when they say action, something is going through your body. Action, boom, and you have to go. These are high-speed cameras, you know, it's expensive. And then you just do it. Because if you hesitate, or people are going to see it on the take, it's all or nothing. And something tells you go.
It's all in here, and we, I 100% agree that a lot of the fear is created by the internal chatter that we have ourselves. Whether that's from experience, whether that's from what we've witnessed through media. Either way, there's something that's starting that initial chatter, and then whether we allow it to take over or not, I think is when you know whether to manage your fears or not. I feel like what you're saying from your experiences of just being able to do the jump and just go through the window is that you came out of your head, and it wasn't about you in that moment. It was about something else. It was about, these guys have paid a lot of money, I got to do this job well, or it was about your family, and you came. So I feel like that's a really good kind of bit of advice for anyone who's in that position, is try to just come out of your head. Don't think about you, think about the bigger picture, like
the bigger picture.
Why are you there and why are you doing it?
And the dots are connected. Like this dot in your life, what happens in your life is connected with the next one. So if that next dot, which is maybe a good stunt, is not there, it might not lead to the next one. So it's just part of it, and just see it like a destiny. Like I have to overcome this, or I have to do this. And that belief, like this big belief, that brings me always to it. It's a big belief, you know, it's a big one. Sometimes there might be thoughts. I had it one time in the movie, like almost like the devil talking to you. So there's this whisper, like do it. There's another whisper sometimes, like you forgot your lines, you can't do it. I had it sometimes, like, and then something, it turns black, and then there's 10 seconds left before they say action, and then luckily it pops up again. Because sometimes it went dark, some voice telling me you forget your lines, or someone is walking past and makes a joke, or just before action, and then you lose it a little bit, like shit, like. So that can happen. That other voice can be, you know, be human. So it's an inner battle, and it's like what is winning, and this bigger thing is winning. the good side is winning.
Yeah, so the way that you deal with that sort of darker voice,
darker voice,
is that you just try and shut it down, and make the other voice louder.
Yeah, you literally say, "Shut up!" You know, this is not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, but the voices can pop up.
So if someone gets a negative thought in their head that says you can't do it, we just got to say, "Shut up."
Yeah. Well, that's a good advice.
Shut the up.
Literally, yeah. Also,
No, sorry, go on.
Also, like think like who you are in life. Like you're unique, right? You only have one life, and it's precious. You know? Everybody has a talent. So sometimes I just have to think back. Know where you come from. All those trainings when you were a kid. All the things you didn't go party, while others were partying and ridicule me, and I was still training. I was sweating. All the things I had to give up, right? What leads to this, right? That is so much. It's so big and so much power that today should go really well.
I love that, because what I'm hearing anyway is that you are remembering to look back on the journey, on the entire journey, rather than getting fixated in your current situation or worrying about the future, or I haven't got any jobs right now, or whatever, you know, that some people might struggle with. Actually, what is the journey that you've been on? Where did you start? And how is it piecing together? I love that, because I think people don't do this often enough. You know, we do. We get stuck here, and fear is always future as well. It's always in the future. It's about what's going to happen, what could happen or might happen.
Yeah.
And so to go back and look in your history, I think is super important.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, and this anxiety or things about the future, you never know anyway, right? But I always say, if you do your best, it's all about intentions. The intentions you give to do something, even with people. My intention is really to help this guy, if he doesn't appreciate it or not. My intention is this. My intention is to do a good job. Mostly with the good intentions and focus. If you do that, right, you give more than you take. You will always work. Say you give me $100, you pay for me, and I give you a value of $110. You would love to pay me $100 every time, because you get more back.
Right.
So I always give more than I take. You just make sure you got the energy to do it.
Yeah. Which goes back to, if you've got that spark, that's going to probably carry you through.
That's the spark. The spark is the 10% more.
Yeah.
Or that's the spark.
Yeah.
And believe me, people do pick up on it. And sometimes, actually in many cases, your part even gets bigger. Let's add a few lines for that guy. Let's make the fight scene longer. Let him do his special kick. Because of that spark, they feel it, like there's more to this guy. Let's give him more. But you can also be reduced, or let's cut him out, or if you do the opposite. Yeah, be careful. So it's very important. So if you give more in life, it really will come back at you somehow.
Yes, yeah.
It's all about giving, basically.
Yeah. Acting and stunt work can look very, very glamorous on the outside, I think, to a lot of people, you know. But did you ever struggle? Well, you did, because you've already said, struggling with a little bit of fear and self-doubt. There was a moment in your past where you had an injury with your right leg. Can we talk about that? Did that affect kind of your thoughts?
Well, you know, as I said, I always believe in destiny, right? But sometimes life puts you to the ultimate test. My right leg, I have the world record high kick. My right leg is my #1 asset. Now, how can life put you to the ultimate test if you lose your #1 asset? That is my right leg. That's the kicks and the leg holding. Basically, my knee, like my ACL popped. It was totally gone, and it's so loose. So it's like everything I had basically disappeared, because I'm a kicker. So you know what I did? I was like stressed, like very depressed about it. But somebody told me keep going. So what I did is I worked around it. I was not so good with punches. So I started to work around this and start to do double spins and on one leg to still kick with this one, but I couldn't stand on it. Develop punches and combos. So based on this injury, I made my whole fighting style, a new fighting style, which with moves I would normally never think of. So this bad thing actually created something unique. This whole mindset, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people, they go through an injury like that.
Oh, it's done. This for stunts is finished.
Right. And so that's probably where I would imagine a lot of people would just kind of be like, all right, game over, like I'm out.
It's not about showing off, this business. If you look Instagram these days, right?
But you can.
Yeah, well, we can, but it looks similar. A picture like this could be shown. It's more about sharing your heart with the world.
Yes.
So if that's in your Facebook or in your podcast, wherever, that is the game changer. So I got a lot of fans. I went from 4,000 to 140,000 in YouTube in like 2 years, because I started to share my heart with the world. It's not like only kicking and showing off. Like, look how good I am. It's more like, like you can do it for others as well. And they pick up on that, like, wow, if the guy with a leg like this can keep going, and got ridiculed by Jackie Chan because I couldn't get the rhythm in the beginning, and he still keeps doing it, that motivates people. And
but I think it's more relatable, because it's if you're someone at home who has this dream, but you've no experience, right? And you watch the movies and you see all the showy off stuff from the actors and the well-established stuntmen, and it can feel a bit like out of reach.
Yes.
Whereas when someone like yourself is vulnerable and open and authentic and shows that side to the world, well, then people can relate, and it's like, oh, he's just a guy. He's just a guy who's had a dream and gone after it. And I think that's what we need more of in this world, is less of the showing off and more like, I'm still a human.
I think that is kind of, it is not maybe like a little bit like this to say it, but I think that is part of the success what I get and will get in the future, is to be very human. I had a manager, he wanted to change me. He said, Ron, you only wear suits, go with fancy cars and have pictures with me. He said, then you're going to be famous. That's Hollywood. Never show pictures of love or your son or your family. And I was so disgusted by it. It was a big manager. He said, you need me. And I dropped him. I said, I couldn't do it. I said, sorry, I want to be myself. I lost myself. It's almost like a PTSD, like in a very bad way. This guy was very bad in many things, like going to the grooming level of Hollywood.
Wow,
that was really bad.
That's a podcast.
That's another podcast itself.
Yeah.
So, but that I couldn't do. So what you say, right? To stick to yourself. That's where it is. That's where the power is.
We've kind of touched a little bit on sort of like your process of getting here, but have there ever been moments where you did second guess and were like, I'm not sure if this is actually for me? Any experiences that might have brought you to that mindset?
Well, there's always the temptations or people who, it's always people, who try to get you off your dream. Like, don't do it, it's risky. There's a very nice quote in the movie, and it's very good. I think it was a movie with Clooney or something. And his boss tell him, how much did they pay you to quit your dream? Right? Like an office work. So I had this, I'm not joking, a guy's a billionaire, and he wanted me to do jobs for him, like presentations and stuff, and he really offered me, you can work for me and you can get really rich. And I couldn't do it, because my heart is not with that. I love graphics and stuff, but my heart is more into action life. I say life is action. So I had to sacrifice a lot of stuff. Some girls, my first girlfriend, I really loved her. She was like Pamela Anderson, but actually she said, I support you, but if you're 30 years old and you're not successful yet, can you promise me you will stop your career? I said, well, it just starts when I'm 30. And we were on a holiday. She screwed the whole holiday. She was so angry. So this is this emotional manipulation to quit my dream, even subconscious, like not cheering it. So I have had a lot of friends who gave up on their dream because of their girlfriend. And that's only one factor. That's because of the girlfriend.
I mean, not all girls are like that.
No, I know, but their girlfriends were.
Yeah.
And my ex and my wife now is fantastic. She's not like that.
It comes back to the support, though. Support. Doesn't it? So yeah, I guess the main factor in whether a person gives up on a dream or not, well, maybe not the main factor, but a big factor, can often just be the people around.
Yes.
You know, not believing in you and not supporting you, or giving you this ultimatum, it's me or that, which when you're so passionate about something, that's a very difficult decision to make. Yeah.
Well, I have a saying. I say the biggest enemy or the biggest challenge is not the challenge itself. It is not the stunt, even the most dangerous stunt. That's not the challenge. It is the world around you who enables you or blocks you in your dream. So you have to really configure that well. You know, find a girl who supports you. You know, you have to. Some friends, right? They're negative energy. You have to be careful. Keep them on a certain distance, and configure the world. You're the casting director of your life. Because else you can be drained, you can lose it. So you have to protect basically your energy and your dream.
I love that. Oh, what a quote. You are the casting director of your life.
Casting director of your life.
Love that.
Yeah, you're in charge.
What advice would you give to someone who dreams of becoming an action actor but feels scared or unsure that they have what it takes? Like if you just cast yourself back to the very beginning when you were first starting out, you know, that young kid or older, whatever, but someone who, I really want to do that, but I just don't know that I've got what it takes, or is held back by fear. What would you say to that person?
I can tell you, every action actor has some insecurities. Even the biggest action actor, believe me, they look in the mirror like losing hair, or every action actor, Stallone to Van Damme, to every action actor has insecurities. They don't show that, because on screen they look like the Terminator or this or that, but they have it. Also know that no one is perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. So just know that the imperfect is actually amazing, because we are different, then you become interesting, because you have something what's not been done yet. So that is your power. So even if you have a big spot here, right, or you're a little bit, your eye is a little bit slanted, whatever, right, that can be your power. So they told me about my Dutch accent, right? Your accent is too Dutch. Look at Van Damme or Schwarzenegger. That became their big asset. So use those things which you feel less about yourself. Maybe you can use it as a selling point, like my knee, right? Like, so start to look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, hey, you know, I can do it. I have something. You know, regret is the worst thing you can have, right? So if you feel you want to do this, even if you're scared, the worst thing is regret. Like, what if? So say you're old, right? You're 65, and what if I did that? What would have happened? So for me, I'm not Tom Cruise. I'm not the most handsome guy in the world. My knee is done, right? I'm 51 years old, and now this year I just get the lead part in the movie as a good guy. This is my big dream. I may be supposed to get it when I was 30. I'm 51, I'm getting it now, and I think the time is right. I think it's not too late, you know, it is right now. Well, I do face a lot of people who have this problem. There's a guy coming to Thailand right now, he's my friend, and he's very insecure. I said, man, you already sacrificed, you paid $3,000 whatever to come here. You want to be in movies, right? And you're still like insecure. Man, look at yourself, you sacrificed already. You deserve it now. Go for it. And then, yeah, but shall I contact him? I'm not sure. I said, man, when I was in Hong Kong, I had 1 week and I had to do it. I was so, not desperate, I was so focused. I was even doing moves on the street. Maybe somebody will discover me. Like, it was insane, this fantasy. But I did it, and I knocked every door. I called every casting agency, and it didn't work. And the last day I saw John Woo office, the last day. And I said, what shall I do? If I was shy like him, I wouldn't go in. I knocked the door, I went into the building, I got a boxing job. Boxing movie. They say, are you a boxer? I was no boxer, I was a kicker. I got the job, I could stay for 2 months, do 3 movies. If I didn't go inside, I was scared, I wouldn't get it. In life, take it. You know, take it, claim it. Claim what you can, do it. Be, you know, because else you won't make it. It's dog-eat-dog business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done, but you really do just have to dig deep and find a way to just say yes.
Yeah.
You know, and just say yes, and then figure it out. You know, whether that means on the spot someone pushes you out out the plane door or whatever. Just start saying yes, because that's where opportunity leads to opportunity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you stay back. You stay back in your safety bubble, and you don't live the life that you want.
That's a good one.
Ron, what does the future hold for you? What else is to come from you? Because already you've had quite the journey, and as you just said, now you've just got cast for a lead role as a good guy at the age of 51. So things aren't slowing down, that's for sure. And just, where do you see this going? What does the future hold for you with this?
Well, I always wanted to do my own movie. It's called Last Fighter. It took me 26 years to write. And for some reason it didn't happen yet. But I always knew it's going to happen. And the story is, it actually got better. And I feel like I'm ready right now. Now guess what? I always knew it's going to happen, and I tell everybody that Last Fight is coming. So that is going to happen. So when we talk now, maybe in 1 year, 2 years, we're going to look back at today. Last Fight is going to happen, and guess what? The investor of this movie I'm doing now as a lead guy also had an interview with me before. And I spoke about Last Fighter. And he said, Ron, remember you spoke about this movie Last Fighter? The way you spoke about that movie is like a spark. Is that movie still available? He said, if we are a success with the movie you're going to do now as a lead guy, if you just sell it, okay. We love to invest in Last Fighter. We love to do your movie. So you see, that's the next step. If there's no purpose or motivation or goal, like, don't waste your time. You know, you need to know what you want. Right? Even when you have a relationship, right? You want kids, you want a family, or I don't know. Like, sometimes it's good to know what you want, because then you can focus, you can work towards it. Else it's like, in this business, you really need to know what you want.
Yeah, and I think that can change. I think you can want something at one point, and then I think it can change, like your wants and desires. But if at that moment in time, the thing that you want, you're working towards it, that's the most important thing, right? Something that I really want to talk about, just because of you know, the type of viewer that I guess will be watching this, and because I understand this as well in the acting industry, it's not uncommon to have a lot of setbacks or a lot of no's within castings, right? And I think this is something that not just action actors, but all actors really can struggle with, is you can go through a phase of time where you're just auditioning, and it's just no. What is your experience with that?
I mean, you're made for something or not, and castings can hurt. It can hurt. Like, I had this Viking casting, and I thought I would get it, right? And I didn't get it. And people say, oh, you're going to get this, and I didn't get it. So sometimes, you not get things, and it can hurt a little bit. Like, I thought I should get this or not. On the other side, you can get stuff you not expect, or like, there's also surprises on the other side. So that compensates for the fact that you lose a lot of job or you don't get it. So it's a little bit, it's not like gambling. It's not like gambling, but the more you go and the more you go to castings, the more you can get stuff.
But for someone who's feeling maybe like a little bit deflated because they keep going to castings, keep auditioning, keep getting no's, you know, someone who's feeling quite deflated by that, what would you say to them? Like, what would your advice be?
I had a guy like this. He said, I never get it. He was Japanese. I never get it. I'm Japanese and this and that. And I was teaching him, and we were doing sword fighting. And he got so good at it. I said, believe me. And I foresee it with him. I said, one day you're going to get this Japanese role where you have to use all the action. And you're going to be a good character. He said, really? I don't believe it. And guess what? In 2 Thai movies, he was the lead bad guy as a Japanese officer with the final fights in 2 movies. And later I said, you see, it can happen, you know?
So you just have to keep going. Even though you keep getting no's, if you really want it, you just got to keep going, right?
That's why surviving is winning. If you can just make a living and just keep going, keep building. I don't back down on my dream, you know. And if people say, oh, fantasy, well, it's okay. If I die tomorrow, I'm happy. I did all I can, you know.
Ron, we've spoken a lot about acting and your career and everything like that, but I just really want to hear life advice.
Okay.
What is Ron's life advice, just in general? I mean, look, that could be another whole separate. Yeah. If you just had one key takeaway to give to an audience, that is something that you just live and die by, not necessarily about the industry or your career, just general, your experience of life, what would that be?
Don't forget about today. So we always think tomorrow I'm going to be famous or this or that, or today. If you do something cool today, a good training, a good acting class, right, that contributes to tomorrow. But sometimes we worry too much or disappear in the past too much, like, oh, that was wrong, or in the future, I'm not sure. Then you might lose a little bit of your spark we talk about. So make the best of today, right? Of course, have the long-term version, but make the best out of today. Don't forget, if you still have your parents, call them, I love you. You know, do those cool things. Make somebody smile. That is the real power. It's not in having a suit or being a cool actor. No, make somebody smile. That's it. Simple. Yeah.
Love that. If anyone wants to reach out to you, maybe someone's felt inspired today and wants to go down the same career path and has questions, or just might want to find you to continue this like motivation, how can someone contact you or find you? Social media? Or?
Social media, Facebook. I have a YouTube channel with some videos as well. Also behind the scenes a little bit, what's going on. Facebook, Instagram.
Okay, so they just search your name and that will pop up?
That will pop up for sure. And there's some playlists and stuff. And don't be shy to contact, because if you do it, you do it. You know, you do it good, so you can contact. Because if you wanted something, right, then take action. Life is action, I always say.
Yeah.
Got to take action.
Yeah.
But with the right intentions.
Love that. Thank you so much, Ron. I really appreciate your time today.
I appreciate you as well. You're doing great, Emma.
Thank you. Thank you.